Hi guys, and thanks for watching this new video tutorial on the GORI Valley mission series, where I'm applying the Moose framework and building a real mission explaining how to apply the Moose framework components. This video will be about task dispatching, which is a dynamic process where new tasks are being created to be engaged by players active within a mission when new targets are being detected by reconnaissance vehicles or airborne units. Okay, so let me show you what's going on within the current mission. What I've done is I've selected a slot and I'm located here on this base in a helicopter, and I'm not doing anything really, I'm just sitting there. The helicopter gets messages from the US headquarters located in GORI and is saying that new tasks have been defined, and that is a result of detections that are happening in the background done by the blue reconnaissance vehicles. Here you got from blue ground forces moving up. So as I explained in the iteration 2, we got these ground battalions moving up to the enemy, and they're going to engage red tanks on the other side. The red side is doing the same. They're also engaging the ground forces towards GORI, and somewhere these guys will meet. Now, what the new thing is about air-to-ground dispatching is that we got these reconnaissance vehicles here, and they are detecting, let me zoom into one. These are watching, you know, in the background, is there any target moving up towards GORI? And if they do, and if they are detected, and a task will be defined to eliminate that target. Let me get to the menu system of what the tasking is about. So what we have is we got a command center, GORI, when we go into the radio menu, and we got the missile trainer. We're going to focus on the command center. So dynamically, and I really mean dynamically, the menu system is being built up. When targets are being detected by the blue recce, new tasks are dynamically being defined and are available in the menu under the command center, so that players can engage, multiple players can engage on those tasks and accomplishing the mission. So in the command center we got one mission which says here, destroy the SAM-6 primary task, and when you go into there you see two items for the moment. You see what are the planned tasks and what are the reports. Let me get to a report first. So I press F2 and then I go, give me the tasks that are currently defined for that mission. So I got for the moment two tasks remaining to be executed. We got task C002 and task 001, which are actually, this is going to be a target with a radar unit in it. The task is to, you know, fly in and eliminate the radar. Let me get back to the menu, or other, command center, and let me get it to the planned tasks then. Now I see a type, seed, F1, and I have two tasks here. I can engage on one. For example, I can engage on seed 001 here. And then I can do two things. Give me the report of this task, or join the task. I'm gonna do the report of the task, F1. What this shows me here, and let me pause the screen a bit, is that this shows the amount of players that are currently within the task. So one task can be executed by multiple players. A detection has happened with a threat level 9 and is located on this MGRS coordinate, and the area that has been defined where these targets are located is area 1. 7 units have been identified. Detections happen, and when any change happens within the detection, a new target has been added or a target has been destroyed and is removed from the detection, but the area is kept as much as possible consistent. So the tasking mechanism is using the detection component from the Moose framework to detect dynamically new targets. New tasks are being defined dynamically. Now I'm going to join that task. So I'm going to command center, plan task, seed, F2, join the task. So now I've joined the task, and what happens now is there's a briefing. The briefing for player killer, that's me. So I need to do a suppression of enemy air defenses. The initial coordinates are, this is the coordinate, and the threat level is that. Note that multiple targets can be within the area, but it's my task to eliminate the radar emitting target because this is a seed task. Then it says also to the blue coalition, the task seed 001 has been assigned. That means generically that this task has started to be executed, and other players active within the mission will see this message. The other message that headquarters will send you to yourself is your group with the signed TC task has 1 P19 2 Tungsten targets left to be destroyed. Because I joined the task, I get under the mission menu now the task that has been assigned to me, which is C001, has become, and this is becoming a menu. So when I do F3, I can do again report the task status, which I'm doing now, or I can abort from that task. So let me do F1, and this gives me now the menu. But notice that the player list now shows me, you know, the active player executing this task. Still no changes in detection. I mean, back in the task menu, my assigned task, right? And now I can do abort task. I've selected a task that I don't want to execute, so I do F2, abort. So what now happens is, the task has been unassigned from your group. This is sent to me. To the blue coalition it's sent, killer aborted the task, and the task may be replanned. And the task will be replanned. Let me then show you in the reports the specific planned tasks. And this is interesting, so you can then see what are my tasks that are being planned and give me a detailed report on those. So now you see a bit more information, like the threat level, the kind of units in there. Right, so let's get a little bit into the scripting of this. For these spawning classes here, I think you should watch iteration 2. And the new thing in iteration 3 here is about, so what we're going to do is we're going to define this class, a task air-to-ground dispatcher, which is going to create dynamically tasks as the tactical situation on the battlefield changes and new targets are being detected. The first thing that needs to be set up is a command center. You do this here. So what you do is you build a unit, it could be anything, but it has to be a group with 1 unit in there, or a couple of units, but at least 1. For the moment what I've done is I created a fortification, armed house, and I named it GORI headquarters as the unit. But the group name is important because this is the name that will be used within the scripting class command center, and it has a new method. The first parameter is, you know, a positionable, which is basically a group that needs to be given as a parameter. It can be given a name, and GORI will be used as the name in any communication that's coming from the headquarters. So when you see messages appearing here, so the command center is basically a class that will accommodate the communication as well the menu building for multiple missions that are created under the command center. So what is a mission? A mission is another class, right? It has a new constructor and it takes a couple of parameters, a bit more, but not really complicated. The first parameter is the command center. So command center has been defined here. When you create a mission, the first parameter is that object that you have here to be passed here as the first parameter. The second one is the name of the mission, which is the name that will be displayed in the menu structure. So when you click command center and then you do, you know, when you select the command center, then you get the list of the missions. Well, this is the name that will be used as the menu definition. Then the third parameter is like, you know, a priority, or a kind of what is the priority of that mission. Is it primary, secondary? But it could also be strategical, tactical, or it could be number 1, number 2, number 3. It's a free-format field. And then a briefing can be given, a mission briefing. Like here, destroy the SAM-6 batteries from the Russians, blah, blah, blah. You can give any explanation you want. And this is an important one, the coalition, yeah. So this mission is for the blue side. And actually I think this becomes obsolete because actually you give the command center there. I think I'm going to remove this parameter at a later version. Fine, doesn't matter. The really important thing is you need to set up, so to get the task dispatcher working, you need to set up reconnaissance vehicles. And you can do this in a couple of ways, but in this, what really needs to be done is you need to create a set group. So it's going to be a collection of groups filtered by, in this case, the blue coalition, and filtered by the prefixes M1 US Recce. So any group that starts with M1 US Recce will become part of this object NATO M1 Recce set US. What does that mean really? Well, that means that any group that you have defined within your mission, when it starts with this, it becomes part of the collection, and it will be actually maintained under this object here, which is a set group object. And this is then given in the task dispatcher here in the new method, right? So as the second, no, excuse me, I'm wrong. This will be given as a parameter to the detection areas object, because the detection areas will be given as a parameter to the dispatcher. And this is an important concept that I will explain. So what really happens is that this group will accommodate the detection. Now this should not only be, they don't need to be ground vehicles only that are detecting. You can also define helicopters or any other one. So for example, this one, M1 US Recce at ramp, what is that? Well, it's basically a helicopter that is here, right? So a helicopter that's been late activated has the name M1 US Recce, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let it take off from this helicopter ramp, and I'm going to let it execute a patrol. So I'm using the AI patrol zone, which is basically what I want him to do is I want him to take off and fly in this zone that's been highlighted here, this zone, which is a polygon zone. So it flies around, and any target it finds, it will report. Alright? So it means that your detection, can be flexible, can be executed by many different types of units or groups. Can be helicopters, airplanes, ground control groups, even ships. Yeah. So the next class, as I explained, and I'm sorry for that mistake there that I explained, but the real workhorse that is detecting these targets is the detection areas class. And detection areas class is one of those detection types. Let me show you this. There are more detection types. Detection underscore, and let me do space here. So you got detection areas, but you also got detection types and detection units. And I really think you should have a look at the detection videos. I'm not going to explain everything here, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to detect targets, and I'm going to group them per area. An area of a radius of 3,000 meters. These are the guys that are detecting for me those targets, and any target that it finds, it will group them in 3,000 meter area. And that object managing the detection and grouping them into areas is stored here. So the third important object that you need is, okay, fine, so I got this task dispatching mechanism here. I need to have a group that is going to attack those targets, right? So what you do is you build up again a set group here, filtered by blue, but now I'm searching for groups with M1 US attack, and these are my attacking targets. When players are joining those client units here, born within the mission, and they will become part of the set here, which is maintained here. So the task air to ground dispatcher is a very simple task. It doesn't, you see, it doesn't take a lot of lines to build a dynamic mission environment. So what you need is a mission object, which is defined here, the group set of attacking players that are being detected, which is defined here, a detection object, detection areas, that is defined here, and for that you need a reconnaissance set, which is defined here. 4 lines of code, or 5, because you need a command center as well. With this construct, with this structure, you can build up dynamically defined missions. And imagine here the battle scene. What you have here is a randomized process where from different platoons here in GORI, ground vehicles are taking off and are driving towards the red zone here. and the reds are doing the same to the blue ones. And while this is happening, these guys are detecting the targets. Now, what I've done here is something very tricky. You don't want these targets to be shot immediately, because then your detection will stop. So you can do two things. You can spawn them dynamically, or you can set the relevant group to invisible and immortal, so that you ensure that those guys will always be staying detecting targets. So let me do you a demo. I've created an Su-25T which is starting midair with a seed tasking, seed payload, and I'm going to fly towards the battle area, and I'm going to seed those targets that are being defined by the air-to-ground task dispatcher. Right, so I got a seed task that has been defined, so I'm flying towards GORI. Let me go into a circle here. So first thing that I need to do is I need to engage on the task, so I go to Plan Tasks, there's a seed task, seed, join task. Here we are. So what do we have? We got execute suppression of air defenses, MGRS, P19 to be destroyed. And I have a routing there, which is, by the way, can be given in LL or in MGRS as well. For the moment I'm doing bearing and range. These messages appear on a regular basis once you join the task. So I need to route to 298. Let me activate the radar, the phantasmagorian emitter, and let me search for that target. Here they are. Right, so those were detected dynamically by the reconnaissance vehicles. It's the, I don't remember anymore what target I have, so what I need to do now is I go to assign task and I say, give me the report of the task. So I got, oh, now there are 3. So I got BRDM, Strela, and a P19, and I think it's gonna be the S125 that I need to attack. So missile away, and the, let me try that one as well, the P19, why not? So there we are. I've taken a long distance seed weapon. Also notice the missile trainer here, right? So I can get messages and tracking information and so on once one of these guys fire a missile upon me. Let me try again one in a minute. So I need to get a bit down now because they, you know, I'm getting into range for these guys, so not sure if I will hit them. One interesting thing is I can use another class in the Moose framework which is called Seed, which allowed to, you know, once these targets see, oh, there's a missile fired to me, they will stop emitting and run away. It's not yet destroyed. I think my missile missed. No, it didn't. There you go. So let me show you this. So now I hit the target, and it says I hit all my targets. So look at this. So I have how to do this. There's a missile coming at me as well. So I got good job. You know, the task has been unassigned because I have completed it. Right, so this kind of summarizes the iteration 3, the air-to-ground task dispatching. This is not an in-depth explanation of the complete dynamics that happen within a task dispatching scenario. I really invite you to try this out, build a mission using the scripting techniques as explained within this video, and just try it out. Try to set up a multiple player mission. Play with your friends or your squad team members and let me know what you think of it. Any defects, any bugs, please register them on the GitHub site so that I can track them and resolve them. And this is not the end of task dispatching, this is only the beginning. So new classes will be built that do other tasks like air-to-air tasks or ground-to-ground tasks or air-to-naval, ship tasks, or even tasks like cargo handling. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm looking forward to engage with you on multiple missions and help them to design. Please provide me your feedback on the YouTube channel. I really would like you to have a look at this video and this tasking dispatching and make it perfect. Thank you very much. Bye bye.